In the stormy seas of the global economy, only a few nations dared to rise against the tide. Once dismissed as small and fragile, four territories, Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea, and Taiwan, rewrote their destiny. They weren't born tigers, they became tigers. At a time when the developing world struggled with poverty and instability, these four economies managed to break free and roar onto the global stage. How did they transform from obscurity into economic giants that challenged the great powers of the world? And more importantly, what lessons can we learn from their extraordinary journeys? In this video, we will uncover the fascinating rise of the Asian tigers. First, we'll revisit their humble beginnings and the harsh challenges they faced. Next, we'll look at the bold policies and visionary leadership that fueled their rise. And finally, we'll explore how their success reshaped the global economy and how their stories continue to inspire nations today. Buckle up. This is not just economics. This is a story of survival, ambition, and transformation. Let's begin with Singapore, a nation smaller than New York City, yet now richer than most of the world. When Singapore gained independence in 1965, it was a struggling port plagued by unemployment, housing shortages, and zero natural resources. It was surrounded by larger, stronger neighbors, and few believed this tiny island could survive. Then came Lee Kuan Yew, a leader with a clear vision. He believed that Singapore's greatest resources were its people, their brains, discipline, and resilience. He bet everything on education, strict but efficient governance, and building trust with global investors. Factories were set up, foreign capital flowed in, and Singapore built one of the busiest ports in the world. Step by step, the island transformed into a world-class financial hub and innovation center. Today, Singapore's GDP per capita exceeds $65,000, ranking among the world's highest. It has only 5.6 million people, yet wields an influence far beyond its size. From fishermen's huts to glittering skyscrapers, Singapore proved that geography is not destiny, vision is. Next, Hong Kong, a city built on rock, yet destined to shine as the Pearl of the East. After World War II, Hong Kong absorbed waves of refugees and entrepreneurs from mainland China. With little farmland and scarce natural resources, survival seemed uncertain. But Hong Kong had two powerful advantages: a deep-water harbor and policies that embraced free markets. Its low taxes, limited government interference, and entrepreneurial spirit created one of the most dynamic economies in the world. By the 1970s, Hong Kong became the workshop of Asia, producing textiles, electronics, and later financial services. Entrepreneurs thrived, capital flowed freely, and soon the neon-lit skyline became a symbol of prosperity. Its GDP per capita surged beyond $45,000, and its stock exchange became a magnet for global investment. Hong Kong's story is one of resilience, balancing East and West tradition and modernity. It shows how freedom of enterprise and openness can transform a rocky peninsula into a global financial powerhouse. South Korea's journey begins with devastation. In the 1950s, after the Korean War, the country was in ruins, its infrastructure destroyed, its economy in shambles. In 1960, South Korea's GDP was just $2.7 billion, lower than many African nations at the time. But Koreans refused to give up. The government launched bold five-year plans focused on industrialization, infrastructure, and export-oriented growth. Families sacrificed, workers endured long hours, and the nation poured everything into its industries. By the 1980s, Made in Korea became synonymous with affordable, reliable products, from cars and ships to semiconductors. South Korea's chaebols like Samsung, Hyundai, and LG grew into global giants. Today, its GDP is close to $2 trillion, and its influence extends far beyond economics. South Korea exports culture as powerfully as it exports technology, K-pop, films, and innovation. From the ashes of war, South Korea not only rebuilt itself, but became a cultural and technological leader. Finally, Taiwan, an island that turned its challenges into opportunities. Throughout the 20th century, Taiwan faced political isolation and constant pressure from Beijing. With limited land and resources, it seemed destined for economic stagnation. But Taiwan's leaders made a bold choice: to invest in technology, education, and manufacturing. They nurtured small and medium enterprises, promoted research, and built a highly skilled workforce. By the 1990s, Taiwan had become the world's electronics workshop. Its crown jewel, TSMC, grew into the global leader of semiconductor production, supplying chips that power smartphones, cars, and even space technology. Today, Taiwan's GDP exceeds $800 billion, with exports reaching every corner of the globe. Despite its complex geopolitics, Taiwan has carved out a place as a technological powerhouse, proving that innovation can be a nation's strongest defense. Together, these four nations, once dismissed as poor and powerless, achieved growth rates that stunned the world. From the 1960s to the 1990s, Singapore grew 8% annually, Hong Kong 7.8%, South Korea 7.6%, and Taiwan 6.7%. Their formula was clear: education, innovation, export-driven policies, and open markets. But behind the formula was something even more important: an unshakable belief that tomorrow could be better than today. Their impact rippled across the globe. They became magnets for foreign direct investment while also expanding outward into Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Their success inspired other nations, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam, who adopted similar strategies and began their own transformations. The Tiger model proved that even nations without abundant resources could rise if they invested in people, innovation, and global integration. If you look closely, each tiger represents more than just economics. Singapore is the strategist, disciplined and precise. Hong Kong is the trader, thriving on openness and adaptability. South Korea is the fighter, born from hardship and rebuilt with resilience. Taiwan is the innovator, turning silicon into global influence. Four personalities, four paths, yet one universal lesson: determination can turn weakness into strength. This is why the Asian tigers are more than just economies. They are stories of human ambition, survival, and reinvention. The Asian tigers roared not just for themselves, but for the developing world, proving that destiny is not given, it is forged. So here's the question: who will be the next tiger? If you enjoyed this journey, click the like button, subscribe for more, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't go anywhere. This is just the beginning. In our upcoming series, we'll dive deeper into each Asian tiger: Singapore, how a resource-poor island built a wealth miracle; Hong Kong, how a port city rose into a financial giant; South Korea, how a war-torn nation became a cultural and tech powerhouse; Taiwan, how semiconductors turned an island into a global force. Stay tuned.